Chris, does IT deserve blame for getting ejected?
Well, first of all, I wish I knew what Rondo was saying. Like how you keep bringing up the tribute. What's up with that tribute, man? Right, that should have been Paul's day, man. What you doing? What you doing? You have some nerve. I really would like to hear what he was actually saying to him.
But he's trying to get under his skin. You know that.
Right, but how, yeah.
And look, Isaiah, we know he can be blamed for a lot this year. He is absolutely right, though, last night. He should not have gotten ejected. He should not have gotten a technical. This was all Rondo. Rondo basically hit him 2 or 3 times in the face. I don't know if it was 2 or 3. He hit him. He didn't all out punch him, but he clearly was trying to disguise stuff like this. He did it at least twice. Isaiah didn't retaliate. Isaiah's kind of smiling, laughing. He says to the ref, what the heck is going on? He did not deserve a T. He did not deserve an ejection. I'm with Isaiah on this. We'll get to a lot of his other things. But yesterday, he should have been able to play in that game.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. It was definitely a Rajon Rondo, almost like he premeditated this going into this game, that I'm going to mess with this guy because I did something special in Boston, and they weren't gonna give me any tribute.
Yeah. Will he get his jersey retired?
I don't know if they're gonna lift my number in the rafters. I mean,
probably not.
I don't know.
Not.
They may. You think they lift everybody's number?
Oh yeah, that's true. Nowadays,
well, not numbers.
But last night, what you saw was somebody getting in an altercation. Somebody being Rajon Rondo. This is who he is. He's a confrontational guy. Getting into it with another confrontational guy, and so my only issue that I have with this is IT after the game. He said, "I don't know why he's upset. I don't know, man. You talk, talk.
Yeah, he probably was saying
you
stuff
wolf
too.
Like even if you watched, even in his time in Cleveland when he wasn't dressed, he's on the sideline standing up, yelling at players, cussing them out. Like this is who Isaiah Thomas is. So now all of a sudden, don't act like you just look. I didn't do anything.
That's my thing. Yes.
I just came to play basketball. This is like this past season when Oakland played Denver and Michael Crabtree and Akeem Talib got into it. It was premeditated.
Right.
They knew what they were getting into.
But I also think that now, because Isaiah is wounded in the eyes of other players, like from where he was, his perch last year to this year. I'm with you. I don't blame Isaiah, but I think now they're like, there's blood in the water. Do you know what I mean?
You think people are looking at players are looking at him like we're going to go at you?
Like we're going to go at you. You're not the same guy.
Were you about to say like a loser?
No, I didn't say that. No. I'm just saying that's what I get. And Rondo did it. He even mentioned it, Isaiah, picking him up full court, pressuring him. That's what Patrick Beverly did in Lonzo Ball's first game. That's what you do. You don't do that to a vet in this league in a game in February. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's you really like going at somebody like, I'm going to mess with you today. I'm going to do that. And that's what I think Isaiah is. He's not that guy who's going to get that big payday, who was 5th in MVP voting last year. You've been traded twice in 7 months, right? He's not that guy, and they want to show him he's not that guy.
Well, I think, first of all, too, Rondo probably has some resentment about the playoffs last year. Remember, when they were up 2-0, and he gets hurt, they probably would have won that series, Chicago beating Boston, if he doesn't go down.
Didn't they win the first 2 games in Boston?
They won the first 2 games. Yeah. It was in Boston. Yeah. So, and then, of course, Isaiah becomes the hero of the playoffs up until the conference finals after that. So maybe that has something to do with it. Look, we've seen guys fall a long way. I mean, we were just talking about one, Derrick Rose, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, even Amari Stoudemire to some degree because of injury.
Right.
This is related to injury with the hip, but there's more to it. You mentioned the disrespect. Those guys weren't disrespected this way. And that does lead you to believe, was he rubbing guys the wrong way even when he was playing at his best? And now that he's injured, he's without a wing, he's hurt, he's not playing well, he's down, he's probably not going to get this huge payday.
And let me say
he's been traded and traded again.
But not only traded, he was dumped by LeBron. Do you know what I mean? Like your status.
No question.
You were dumped. What? Like LeBron's like, oh no, let's hold on to him. Let that hip get right. he can be the guy and help us. No,
was none of
LeBron's
that.
like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's get him out of here. And
Yeah.
I think people look at that, and that's where the wound is, and he has to be able to overcome that. So he's got a lot of work to do before the end of the season.
Look, he has a lot of built-in, like, anxiety and just hurt. I don't know what you would even call it because of
A chip on his shoulder?
with the chip on his shoulder from just being the little man. Even we saw the commercials. We saw him do a little bit of a documentary about it a little bit, talking about his upbringing and always being the smallest guy on the court. That bothers him. That he always has something to prove. So now him being hurt, as you alluded to, that gives him something else to prove because now everybody's like, it's over. It's over for him. Yeah. So now all of a sudden, on top of the fact that I'm 5'9", with gym shoes on.
With platforms.
Exactly. And now I hurt my hip, and everybody's saying I would not return to being the player that I once was. He's out to prove that. That's why LeBron had to dump him, because it was more about him than about winning championships. And LeBron isn't about He's about winning championships.
And look, to be fair, that attitude, that chip on the shoulder, that arrogance and cockiness, that has served him well. To be 5'8",
Sure.
5'9", and excel in this game, even to make it to the NBA.
100%.
Or even to play
And
big-time
average,
Division
average,
I.
what do you average, 29?
29. Like
29 in the NBA
Nate
at that
Robinson
size.
had
Right.
the same attitude, from the same part of the country, too. He wasn't as good as Isaiah, but, that has been good for him. I just don't know with that injury at 29 years old, even he's gonna look at all this and use it for fuel. But with the injury, the age, I don't know that he'll be able to. And even if he is able to at some point get back to what he was, the sad thing is he's going to miss out probably on the big payday. Even if he'll get another contract, but by the time he becomes what he used to be, if he gets there, he'll already be in a new contract that probably isn't paying him what he's worth.
Yeah,
So-
I don't see a max deal. It would
No,
have to
no,
be
no.
something that would be.
No way.
But he was
it's a
right on the
max.
cusp of.
I don't think he was.
Oh, but you know what I mean? Of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
being that kind of.
He was
salary.
going to get over 20
Right.
a year easily.
So if you are in his circle and you're advising Isaiah Thomas moving forward after this season, are you telling him, Isaiah, look, shut your mouth?
Not after this season. You mean like
Now.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yeah, but my point is, would you be telling him, or would you say, look, you're not the player that you once was? Would you be willing to tell him that?
Most people can't handle that.
Exactly.
But is that it? Do you think he's not the player he once
I don't
was?
think he's. I mean, look, he doesn't have the.
He's not in the
explosion.
same. Well, true.
He
but
doesn't have the. That
he
was a lot
probably-
of his game.
He probably knows that, and he's chalking it up to the injury, which is probably why it is the case. But as I've said before, he was not a perennial 28-point scorer. He was not a perennial all-NBA talent like last year. He was just in a great role, a great system that was the perfect storm for him.
Which allowed him to flourish
Exactly.
better than ever before.
He wasn't going to do that consistently, not outside of Boston.
Is he still a starter in this league?
Yeah, for some teams, certainly. He's certainly in a top
The reason why I asked
but
that
I think
is
he might just be better as a
The reason why I
six-man
asked it
energy guy.
is because if I'm advising Isaiah Thomas, you have to be real. Isaiah, you're 5'9". You're a liability defensively. Teams are looking at you saying, I can't win with him at the forefront of my franchise. So you have to be willing to look at that, survey yourself, self-assess, and say, look, maybe I might be better suited swallowing my pride and coming off the bench.
Well,
and being a really good bench player.
Absolutely.
To come up and put up shots and points. A lot of guys, they balk at that, but that's sometimes finding the right role.
Yeah,
and I
and that
agree.
will extend his career.
Right, that'll extend your career. You'll play a long time if you only give me 18 minutes off the bench and score 15 points or 12 points.
Well, it might need a guy like Jamal Crawford, who's kind of the godfather of that Seattle area basketball players, who's made a great career coming off the bench, even though he's got starter's ability. And even you point out, look at Kevin McHale. Look at some of these great sixth men. But whether he Isaiah buys into it or not, the one thing he definitely needs to do is stop chirping and stop, making these comments.
I'm not sure he can do it.
Nope.
I just think that's who he is. He's cut a certain way. It started from being the smallest guy having to do all that. So I think it's already in him. It would be nearly impossible for him to just go, okay, I'm not talking anymore.
Well, the interesting thing after all these things that have gone wrong for him recently, here comes LeVar.
I know.
I was just going to say, the one
know,
thing he needs to do is get in LeVar's face, because I just want to see it.
Well, a lot of people would like to see it. And now some people would actually like that. If LeVar threw a shot at him, and I don't know that he will, he'll throw a shot at something.
But he might.
At some point.
If he takes playing time away from Lonzo, right, and he starts playing LeVar, I guarantee you.
That would make Isaiah a little cult hero if he went back at LeVar, because nobody's done it.
No.
Not one person's done it. LeBron did.
You said it the other day. That's who it's going to be.
Absolutely. I still believe so. To your point, he's not going to be able to shut his mouth. That's just not who he is. Especially with LeVar's waiting in the wings.
Do they both want to come on the program and maybe go back and forth here? They can sit right there. Rob will move.
I'll leave.
We'll get the love seat.
That would be fantastic. Open invitation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.